All right, today's lesson will be on parallel lines. Let's start with the definition. Parallel lines are two or more lines that are in the same plane and will never intersect each other. For example, let's call this line L and line M. Line L and M lie in the same plane, but they never intersect each other. So we say that line L is parallel to line M. Segments can also be parallel. They don't have to be even with each other, but as long as they're in the same plane and going in the same direction. So let's call this segment G and segment J. We say G is parallel to J. Now we have a situation where we have two lines that are in the same plane, but they're not parallel because they meet eventually. Let's call this K, let's call this J. Line K, notice is a little slanted. It's going to eventually meet with line J. So we say that line K is not parallel to line J. We have a situation called skew lines, where two lines never intersect, but they're not in the same plane. And I want to give you an example of that. Consider this cube. Let's say I call this AB. This is AB. And let's look at CD. They never intersect each other, but they're not parallel because they're not in the same plane. This will keep extending up, and this will keep extending out in this direction. They'll never touch. But they're not parallel because they're not in the same plane. So CD is not parallel to AB because it must be in the same plane. An example I can give you of that is a street that goes under a freeway pass. So make sure you know skew lines are not parallel because they're not in the same plane. This concludes our lesson for today.